Hello people, as you can tell by the title, I'm going to be showing you my Gamecube collection. Why am I doing this? Why not? And I feel like it, so you know, hey. So let's get started with the Gamecube collection. Now I have quite a bit of games here, so it shouldn't be too long, but shouldn't be short either, so let's get to it. Coming in at the first Gamecube game is Resident Evil 0. I enjoyed this game, as I do all Resident Evil games. Yes, even Resident Evil 6, I do enjoy that game. And this is a game that you play two people, but it's not online co-op like the Resident Evil games now have been. It's you switch between the characters, and it's a lot of fun, and it's scary, like really scary. It's one of the scariest ones in the franchise, and I don't know if they're doing it, but I heard about something like they're re-releasing this in HD remaster like they did with the Resident Evil remake. So that would be cool. They should do that. Maybe they will do that, and I'll buy it. Speaking of the Resident Evil remake, here is Resident Evil Remake. Now, this is how you do a remake of a game. This is a dope fucking game. Updated graphics, from the ground up, better voice acting, obviously. New areas in the mansion, Crimson Head zombies, and it's just an all-around great game, and fucking scary as shit too. So yeah, Resident Evil Remake. Next up is Resident Evil 2. What I think is the most popular one in the series. This is a lot of people's number ones. This and 4. I really enjoy this game. Once again, I enjoy all Resident Evil games, and Resident Evil 2 is a fantastic fucking game. Short and sweet. Anyway, Resident Evil 2. Next up is one of my personal favorites, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, because you're in a city, an abandoned city. It's awesome. Zombies, Nemesis chasing you. Nemesis is fucking dope. And yeah, this is the Resident Evil game I've beaten the least. I've only beaten this once or twice. Now next up is a surprisingly scary Resident Evil game, and the most colorful. Like, it has bright colors, but it's fucking scary. Resident Evil Code Veronica X. I'm looking at the back right here, and Wesker looks fucking creepy as shit. And I've never beaten this game. I've gotten to the end where you play as Chris, and you fight that big Veronica. You fight Veronica on I can't remember exactly where. But I ran out of ammo and I just ran around trying to knife her, and she massacred me. So yeah, haven't beaten this. I probably will one day. And that's Resident Evil Code Veronica X. Next up is a Resident Evil game that changed the series forever. But in a good way. With this game, in a good way. Resident Evil 5, alright, I enjoyed that game. Resident Evil 6, I didn't enjoy it at first, but now I do. Resident Evil 4, this is the first Resident Evil game not to have zombies. It's a third-person survival horror game. You do a lot of shooting, you get a lot of guns, but then again, when you think about it, in Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, you do get a lot of guns, but you play as Leon in a village. I'm not going to go through what the entire game is about, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people have played this. And this is the Resident Evil game I've beaten the most. Unfortunately, I cannot prove how many times I've beaten it because my GameCube memory card was wiped out somehow. And I've beaten this easily over 80 times. I'm not even lying, but I can't prove it because my GameCube memory card has been wiped out, and now I only have like 5 or 6 Resident Evil 4 beaten saves on it, and I can't prove it. But I promise you, over 80 times. So much fun. Next up is a game that I put in my HD Remakes Remaster video that should happen, and that's Metal Gear Solid The Twin Snakes, remake of the first game, once again, from the ground up, new graphics, and the same amount of areas, but you'd be able to shoot people in first person. It's basically the mechanics of Metal Gear Solid 2 in Metal Gear Solid 1. Next up is the very first game I ever got for my GameCube, but I ended up selling it, but I bought it back years ago, and that's Legend of Zelda, the Windwaker. I really enjoy this Zelda game. I think I put it number 4 or 5 as my favorite Zelda game. no, number 4. It's my 4th favorite Zelda game. And it's just loads of fun sailing around in the ocean, finding islands, the ghost ship. Remember the ghost ship? That's some good stuff. And yeah, Legend of Zelda: The Windwaker. Next up is a game that was a launch title for the Wii, but it's basically a port of this game. That's Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess. My 2nd favorite Zelda game. I like the setting, I like the story, the graphics are awesome. And there talks about releasing this in 3D on the 3DS, which I'm all for. I mean, why the fuck not? You know, people say, why do they keep on remaking games and releasing them in 3D, or why do they keep on remastering? Why not? So it's better to ask why not instead of why. Anyway, Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess, solid fucking Zelda game. Next game in my collection is Metroid Prime. I've never beaten this game. I've only gotten like 3 or 4 hours in, but I've never beaten it. I have the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd on the Metroid Prime trilogy on the Wii. And this is a fun game, first person, shooting things. When is shooting things not fun? I mean, come on. Anyway, yeah, Metroid Prime. Now, the next up is Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, and I've only played 20 minutes of this, and there's really nothing I can say about it. I've only played 20 minutes of it. Now, next up is a game that I played for about an hour or so, and I got stuck, and that is Beautiful Joe. I haven't played this in a while, and I got stuck on a part where you're running down a stairway and you're getting chased by barrels or something, if I remember correctly, and I can't get past that part. I don't know why, but yeah, I can't get past it. So, Beautiful Joe. Next up is, I think it's a fighting game. Beautiful Joe Redhot Rumble. Is it a fighting game, if I remember correctly? I don't remember. I've only played a little bit of this, so I can't really say much about it. Next up is the last game in this series, which is unfortunate, because when I think back on the series, it was fucking awesome. That's Army Men Sarge's War. I used to own this game, but I sold it for some reason. I don't know why. I used to sell my games a lot. But, this game is rad, man. This game is dope as shit. It like, makes the Army Men games mature, not mature, but like, you know, not kiddie. You know what I mean? Like, it's more adult, but not adult, where like you see like plastic boobs and plastic banging and shit. But like, you shoot enemies and their body parts fly off, but since they're plastic toys, they just like, they bounce off. It's a fun fucking game. It is fun. And I say it's fun because it's fun and awesome. Come on. Anyway. Whoops. Next up is a game I played once for 5 minutes, and that is Need for Speed Carbon. It's a racing game, a car game. You drive and shit. And yeah, Need for Speed Carbon. Next up is a game I played a little bit of, and it's fun. It's a first-person shooter. It's 007 Nightfire. You're James Bond. You're shooting people. And yeah, I don't remember much about it because I haven't played it in a while. But yeah, you're James Bond shooting people. Pew pew. Next up is a game I played the shit out of, and I used to own, but I sold. And that is Lego Star Wars the video game. When I first owned this, I played the shit out of it. Beat it 100%, all the characters. It was awesome. So much fun. I love the Lego games. Lego games are awesome. And this was before Lego games had voice acting. Next up is Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy. Once again, I used to own it, but sold it. I want to kick myself for selling some of my games. But yeah, I also played the shit out of this one. Not as much as the first one, but once again, a Lego game before they had voice acting, and it was loads of fun. Next up is a game I haven't played for a while, and this franchise started on a Nintendo system, and this is the last... I think this is the last entry on a Nintendo system. It's not part of the main series, it's kind of like a side series. That is Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Now, I haven't played this in a while, I don't remember much about it. I might pop it in after this video and give it a go because, you know, looking at the back, it's kind of making me want to play it. And I love Final Fantasy. Come on. Next up is a surprisingly fun fucking game. It's a cell-shaded graphics, and that is 13. It's fun. Like when you like in the back, I don't know if you can see it, but when you shoot people in the head, Like it's like a comic book. Then you shoot people, it goes blam, bang. It's a lot of fun. 13, I haven't beaten it. Once again, I might pop it in and play it because, I don't know, I'm in the mood to play my older games now. So, heh. Next up is a movie-based game that I don't think a lot of people know about, and that is Driven, based on the Stallone flick of the same name. And I've only played this once for 5 minutes. You drive around Formula 1 racing and stuff. I don't remember because some of these games I only play like once or twice for a few minutes. So yeah. Next up is a game, once again, used to own, sold it. We're past that. And that is Pokemon Coliseum. Fun Pokemon game on the Gamecube. I don't know, I really enjoy the Pokemon games, and I enjoy the first few seasons of the show. And it's just a lot of fun. You capture Pokemon in Pokeballs, you know, as you do. And yeah, fun game. Next up is the sequel, I think, to that, and that is Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. I've only played a little bit of it, and it's a Pokemon game, so you know it's fun, RPG. And yeah, Pokemon XD. What does the XD stand for? I don't know. Gale of Darkness. Did I say Gale of Darkness or Edge of Darkness? I don't know. Next up is a fun game that I've only played a little bit of. I think I got stuck on it, and that is Geist. Kind of like Heist, except Geist, you're a ghost. You take people's bodies, you heist their bodies. So Geist, you take possession of people's bodies, as it says on the back. And yeah, that's a first-person shooter, and it's fun. Next up is a game that back in the day I used to own, sell, own, sell, own, sell. So I decided just to buy it and keep it. And it's a lot of fun. It's a movie-based game that's fun, which is saying something, and that is Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King. I beat the shit out of this game. I beat it a lot back when I used to sell, buy, and yeah, it's one of the few movie-based games that are actually pretty good. Let me fix these games, cause there we go. Next up is a game I only played for 5 minutes, and that is True Crime Streets of LA, starring Keanu Reeves. I'm kidding, it's not Keanu Reeves, but it looks like him. I think this is a beat 'em up. If I remember correctly, like the game begins of you beating dudes up in a restaurant or something, or a diner. I haven't played it in a while. It was cheap, so I figured, I'd buy it. And the last game I got at the flea market, I talked the dude down. It was awesome. And having an actual GameCube instead of using my Wii to play GameCube games helped. And that is Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. I played a little bit of this, and I don't remember if I'm stuck or if I just stopped playing. But it's a Paper Mario game. It's an RPG. Is it? Yeah, it's an RPG. And it is loads of fun, as are most or all RPGs. Except this one has Paper Mario. So, there you have it. That's my GameCube collection. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below what are your favorite games. If you have a GameCube, let me know games you own for the GameCube. And be sure to hit like, subscribe, and yeah, stay tuned for more videos. See you later.